yourself?
I did not. No.
I was like, look at you with the pro podcasting struts of muting yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's easier until you start the show without any audio. And then you look like a big old dummy.
It's
which is great.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to TyriaNow. Episode 11.
Episode 11, yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are at the start of another show. This is the Qadim's top tier, more of Qadim's top tier supplies stream.
I love that. I love that loot name. Qadim's top tier supplies.
I know. I laughed when someone links it into guild chat earlier today.
What an absolute meme. Qadim's top tier supplies.
Yeah. He's the big daddy, Qadim daddy.
Yeah. He's with the S tier supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
So, yeah. So, I am Miko, and he is Aaron, and this is TyriaNow. Welcome, everyone.
Tyria right now, not yesterday.
Not yesterday.
Not tomorrow.
Nope. Right
not
now.
Last month. Right now.
Right now. So, what's happening right now? What have you been up to this week, Aaron?
Well, I hear that their Wing 7 came out.
Yeah.
And you dragged me in for a bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside of that, I've been hitting the world bosses
Mm-hmm.
because I've been wanting to make them ultra shiny weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also been doing tier 4 fractals every day for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Which has been lucrative. So
It is
I'm
good
on.
loot.
Yeah, I've got the tier 4 fractal bug now. I know everybody else is like, dude, I've been doing those since 2016. I got you. I just started like 10 days ago, and it's the best. It's the best thing.
It's fun.
Except when you get crappy fractals, then it's awful.
Yes.
Like yesterday when we had to do tier 4 Thomanova, but we powered through it.
Are you running those with Josh still?
Yeah, Josh comes most of the time. He didn't come yesterday. I had to full pug it yesterday, and that was brutal. Yeah, that's brutal. We had a druid and a chrono, which I was like, yes, dude, easy mode. Right. And we still sucked. Druid, chrono, still sucked.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was great.
No, that's not fun times.
Mm-hmm. So it's been like a hit and miss week, right?
Hey, Deo, welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well,
you've just been living Wing 7 this week, right?
I really have. My week this week, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some. I'll look in at the new wing and a little bit, and then I'll see if I can get some more progress on the sky scale, because that's still a thing in my life. And I've just been living in Wing 7.
Yep. Yeah. Chat mentioning that tier 4 Thomanova isn't bad. It shouldn't be bad, but subject 6 with pugs is ghoulish. Right.
Yes.
Apart from that, it's super easy fractal, but oh my god.
Yeah. I have not been running tier 4s in a good while, but I need to get into that again.
Some nice free ascended, some nice matrices, dude, stabilizing matrices. So you can make cubes whenever you need to. Super nice. Like, it's just nice.
Nice times.
Fractal relics, so you can get your infinite potions eventually. I'm way far away, but hopefully by the end of the year, I'm rocking those infinite fractal potions.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would make life easy.
Oh yeah, then start working on the Fractal God title. There's a lot of progression in fractals.
Yeah, there
is. Just got to do the same fractals every week forever, pretty much.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it goes.
Almost like, and we're not going to get into a rant here, but it's almost like Arena should make more fractals because there's thousands of hours of fractal progression.
Well, we have connections with a fractal guild if you're really looking to get into more and not have to deal with the pain of pugs.
It's
so
true.
We can talk after.
Any of them are on at 11:30 p.m. Pacific.
I think they have groups going all the time, so I can get you hooked up with one of their people, and they can
around the clock fractals. Very nice.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do. Yes, but I've been living in Wing 7 all week. I've taken different groups in since Tuesday. I streamed on Tuesday. I didn't tweet it out because I was trying to do some stealth streaming, and then I forgot that I had streamer mode enabled on Discord, and then people who follow me, because people follow my channel, which always amazes me since I never stream, showed
You're the
up.
raid god. You're the raid god.
Yeah, well, people showed up, and I was like, "Oh, hi guys."
They want to learn your secret closed static strats
I guess.
for raids.
I mean, it was us kind of taking in some of the knowledge from watching streams from launch earlier in the day and basically going in blind to figure out the mechanics and figure out what comps work, what classes work better, things like that. So it was fun. I took in we took in 4 different groups. You came in on Wednesday, right?
Yes.
And then I took Aerostatic through on Tuesday, the random group that we pulled together from across our statics on Wednesday. Thursday I took in one of my statics. Friday we took in the Friday night group, which is arrows, and got the kill finally on the air gin. So 4 different groups, and we ended up having a couple of different raiders that had seen it earlier in the week with us. Were in as well, so it helped to have some people who kind of knew what to expect to be able to talk others through the mechanics, and yeah, it was good.
Nice.
And then Arrow took through a group today that dubs a lot, world rerolls a lot, and they shredded severe.
Really?
Yeah, the Qadim comp is really strong on that fight.
That's so funny because it's like in the WW community, it's like a meme that they can't raid.
Oh, dude, no.
Yeah.
No, there are WWs who are quite good.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's like they almost self-deprecate about it. Like, yeah, we go into raids and press 1.
I know, and they're like, we don't PvE. What is this crap? And we're like, yeah, but come and join us anyway. It's fun.
Yeah.
Condi ran 8 through him. Yeah, I'm totally gonna take him in.
So yeah, should we just like officially topic transition to Wing 7 then?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, it's what we were both doing. Well, you did part of it. I have not run the world bosses all that much. I did jump in on a couple. And I did with SK, with Script Kings. I went in last weekend to do ore metas. That was pretty fun.
Last week's boxes. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I did want to recap last week's boxes. So they had the meta event rush last week.
Yeah.
So how many boxes did you get for that total?
I don't recall. We were map hopping a lot, and you're asking me to remember a week ago when I've had a migraine all week. So I'm sorry, but my memory is gone.
Well, because you could get way more of those boxes than the original ones. The original ones were 1 per boss, and this last week's were 4 per boss.
Nice.
Yeah, so you could get a lot of these. There are people getting stacks and stacks and stacks, right?
Yeah.
Just doing it around the clock.
I would like to go in. I just don't know when I'll have time to see if I can get any of the shiny stuff drops, shiny weapons drops. I just haven't done it because I've been attempting Jin stuff.
Yeah, and last week's boxes were better than the original World Boss Event boxes as well. They dropped a lot more materials. Yeah. They actually crashed the price on Tier 4 materials, which to people who do Silver Waste was really annoying. So we're all sitting on our Silver Waste loot until those prices bounce back, which they're in the process of doing, thank God. So yeah, Silver Waste money making has been halted for like a week now.
Yeah.
But I got like 70-ish of the boxes, so not very many. I actually got more of the original ones, but I didn't go ham on the event. And crap load of materials, right? I actually got an infusion out of one, and it was worth 3.5 gold.
Not bad.
No, it's terrible. Well, as far as infusions go,
that you did. Well, yeah,
that's awful.
What infusion was it?
It's one of the polyluminescent ones, which are worthless. Yeah.
I didn't realize that they had dropped that much, the polyluminescent ones.
With the boxes. they have. Yeah. And it was one of like the weakest ones. Like it was one of the lowest. So yeah, that was, hey, 3 gold. What are you going to do? Right.
Some of them have been quite cool. I'd run into players every once in a while who have them on their tunes. I think Rawl's got one. Another of my Raiders has another. So I see them every once in a while. They have like a nice glow to their tunes. And I'm like, what's that about? But yeah, no, I haven't really been chasing the Infusion Fashion Wars for my tunes. I'm just kind of like, Although I do like the Peerless one.
Yeah, that came out with Wing 7 this week, the Peerless Infusion. I like it too. I'm going to need to get one at some point. I saw it's 2,000 gating crystals at Glenna.
And you can buy them on the trading post right now. They're at like a 500 golds, but that'll come down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that they'll come down to like a 200-ish region, like a Ghostly Infusion region, right? I will buy one if they come down to that. I definitely will, because I quite like the Peerless.
Yeah. Purple glow's good.
I don't know. Should I wait and get it from gating crystals so it's legit?
Yes.
I know you're already mad. You're already mad about my Doom Throne.
I know, because you haven't earned it and you just went and bought it.
I did. If it makes you feel any better, I lost 400 gold on it. It's 400 gold cheaper than when I bought it. So
that does make me feel slightly better. Slightly.
Yeah. Have you seen the new chair that you get? Do you like it?
Yes.
I think it's terrible.
I love it because it floats.
It's so bad.
Somebody was calling it the ugly floating cake chair today.
Yeah, it is. It's so bad. I would much rather have a gold pile. I think the gold pile is still the coolest chair.
Does the wiki have it up so people know what we're talking about? The chair.
I actually, the first place I saw the chair?
In our airdrome?
I know. I ran into DeRoyer doing world bosses.
Oh, and he had it out?
I saw the chair, and I was like, oh, is that the new chair? And then I noticed it's DeRoyer sitting on the chair. And so, of course, I felt kind of bad, because this is probably a dick move. But I go and say chat, and I'm like, check out DeRoyer here, just hanging out in his new chair. And so, of course, everybody's like, is it really DeRoyer? And then he probably left.
He's like that damn Guild Wars monk.
Yeah, he's probably like, what an asshole.
What is it called again?
I don't know what it's called. There's like 4 people in the whole game who have it, so I don't know.
There's not 4 people. There's several more. Oh God, I know it's the achievement Key of Ahdashim achievements.
Chat saying that all the raid chairs are awful. I disagree, dude. The Doom chair is cool. The Doom chair is cool. If the Doom chair was achievement locked, it would be the best in slot chair. But it's not. So the gold pile is the best in slot chair.
I like the cake chair.
Miko likes the cake chair. She'll be using it when she finally gets her cake chair.
I'll probably use the Doom chair more, to be honest, because it's Daddy Doom, and that freaking boss took me a while. Here we go, achievements. The Throne of Ahdashim. It does look like it's like a cushioned. Oh, wiki fail. Why do you not have pictures?
Hey, it's the first week. You got to give the wiki people a break. All right, they're like, they need breaks. They're human beings.
Yeah, I know.
I will say the wiki does finally have fully comprehensive material lists for Vision and Coalescence, and I'm so much less stressed now. Now that I can just look and see what I need. It's nice.
Here's a picture.
Oh, do we have a picture of the chair? It's, I don't know. It's not my style. I guess that's it. It's not my style.
Let's not do that.
Chat is saying that the Doom chair is straight out of edgy PS1 games. Shots fired at the Doom chair. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of low res, but geez.
I would show this to you guys, but we were apparently having technical difficulties on my thing.
Okay, we're having trouble showing the chair.
I'm not sure what screen it's capturing. Hang on one second, guys. Let me see if I can figure out where it's capturing from. Not that one. Oh yeah, it is that one. It's just not wanting to show. Well then, screw you. game.
Chat saying the bugged orbs from last patch were the coalescence effect. I'm not familiar enough with the orbs you're talking about. I did see the coalescence effect on Warrior's Twitter, though. Actually really like it. I like the coalescence effect. Am I crazy? It's good.
It's, yeah. Between the three, like I am feeling indifferent about the legendary trinkets at the moment. Coalescence and Aurora and Vision together, which is what, if you saw his...
You have to have all three to get the blue. Yeah.
Yeah, and in that screenshot that he tweeted out, he's also got the Peerless Infusion, I think. So it's very cute. But I just don't know.
I have beef with the way they've decided to do the legendary trinkets. So, like, for people who have specific fashion, right?
Yes.
It's bothersome because your trinket starts out single as goldish purplish orbs. Like, they have kind of a white with a slight gold and slight pinkish purple hue to them.
Yeah.
And then they turn purple, right? What if those don't go with the look you had before? Now you got to transfer it or not do the double look. And you got to do the double look. Come on. And then you get coalescence, and now you're blue. And now you have to transfer the trinkets again.
But it's kind of a bluey purple look to it. And
I'm just saying.
I'm kind of annoyed that my showing stuff off stuff is not working well.
As you combine them, it changes the fashion scheme of the item, and that annoys me because right now I have it on my purple character, right? And Vision's going to work great on my purple character. But then when all the stuff turns blue, I got to move it to a new character. Like, and that bothers me. It bothers me so much.
You were talking about last time, though, that you wanted them to have kind of unique looks, right? For
I want them. Yeah,
I think individually having unique looks would make them a little bit, which we talked about last time.
Either make them have individual looks that don't clash with one another so you can have them all active at the same time, or make them individual and be able to toggle which one you want to show. I think people wouldn't like that because they want to display all their legendaries, right? Or have the combine effect toggleable, or make a Mystic Forge combo recipe like you have with Twilight and Eternity, or Twilight and Sunrise, which again I don't think people would like because people don't like sacrificing legendary gear, right? It's a hard problem to solve. This is one way of going about it, but toggles are obviously the best, but there's so many toggles missing from legendary weapons that I didn't really expect them to give us that level of choice. So I'll live, but it's just mildly annoying.
Mildly. Mildly.
Not quite as annoying as not being able to show off screenshots on screen.
I'm kind of annoyed by this right now. If you guys will bear with me for a second, I'm going to see if I can fix this. But I have to swap over to that scene and probably just regrab. So if you just bear with me for technical difficulties.
Chat's saying they're disappointed that there's not a toggle for less flying mounts cluttering up the screen. To be fair, if you turn your character model limit down, it'll eliminate a lot of them, which is something I do. I just need to remember to turn it back on for raids so I can see everything. It looks like you've got something pulled up there on the stream.
It's just not pulling up what I needed to. For some reason this has happened before. XSplit in my computer. I'm not sure what's happening. I think I want to blame my computer because that always feels like a good thing to do.
Chat saying ironically that they like, or sarcastically that they like that they have to farm a lot of bounties for the new raid ring. Yeah, you do, because you're going to need a lot of, if you want the ring, you need a stack of elegy mosaics, unless you want to get 10,000 trade contracts. Either way, it's a nightmare, right? So yeah, you are gonna have to farm a lot of bounties. I happen to have a bunch of elegy mosaics from farming a lot of Istan, because you do smolge, the legendary bounty, all the time in Istan for the farm. And so I just have a giant stack of them. But yeah, you'll have to do a bunch of bounties. It's if you can get a group together to do a bounty tour, it's actually not going to take that long. More like almost 1,000 mosaics. It's 750. A big old stack, as in like just a bunch, but 750 for the ring, or 300 for vision, right? So if you want to get vision and coalescence, you'll want like 1,000 LG mosaics. I just want vision right now. I want to get coalescence eventually, but I don't have the raid achievements done, so I'm not even thinking about that. But yeah, the gift of Desert Mastery is definitely not a fun gift to make. I would much rather make a Maguma Mastery gift, right? A Desert Mastery is not a fun gift to make. So yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Chat also saying people actually using the sky scale should be eliminated from the game. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just not capturing Firefox for some stupid ass reason.
But Firefox is the Linux of web browsers.
Yeah, it's just capturing a white screen.
Everybody loves Firefox.
I generally love Firefox, but it's XSplit being, I think, just being annoying. It's done this before, remember?
Mm-hmm. Where it just doesn't, like, for no reason, it just doesn't agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
Normal occurrence.
All right. Well, screw that. We'll get it fixed for next time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We had a plan of like showing off stuff and everything today.
There's a lot of stuff to show off today too.
It is, yeah. So we went into the wing. So, do you have anything else to say on the meta event rush recap and
Just that I was annoyed that the boxes dropped the tier 4 map prices so much, but you know, what are you gonna do? Yeah. And then and that I got no infusions except that lame one out of it. So.
Regold.
Oh, I will also really quick just say, I don't know how special these bonus weeks are going to continue to be if they keep doing them every week.
I've been wondering about that because I can get trying to hype the new wing through this through the one that's currently going for the the lay infused shenanigans thing.
Yeah, the ultra shiny weapons.
The ultra shiny weapons and the regular shiny weapons. But I think they do need to make them space them out a bit to make them feel special.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying like I like them.
I like the idea behind them.
But if you do it every week, we're just going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm not doing this again. Sorry.
Yeah. It becomes then another farm which they could just put into other maps for what they already have. And the farming for the amalgamated gemstones on the meta events in like Path of Fire is something that people have been hitting up pretty hard. A lot of people in my guild have been hitting up elegy mosaics and
it's a good.
Well, they've been farming because they're going after coalescence. So
yeah, like chat was just mentioning, you need a lot of elegy mosaics. 750 because you need your funerary incense, right? So 750 for your stack for coalescence, and then if you want vision, you're gonna want 300 elegy mosaics for vision too. So
and
lots of elegy mosaics for legendary trinket acquisition.
Yeah. You know, got to give people a reason to go back into those maps, I guess. Yet another reason. But yeah, filler for in between releases and festivals. Yeah, I agree that could be a good use of them.
I think that's the use for them. Like that's what they should be for. And instead, they've just been like on this kick since releasing episode 6 of like, look at all this stuff we have to give you.
Yeah.
Coming off the back of like doing nothing for many months.
And I think remember what happened in February.
I do, but I'm just, like
and they're trying to rehype and the whole, 11 million strong players and trying to get people back into the game or entice people over into the game. So using existing content and throwing more loot at people is one way to kind of try and retain players. I get what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, talking about player retention. Should have been in my stream last night. I had a giant rant. I'm not going to go into it, but I had a rant stream about player retention last night. I'll just leave it there.
Okay, you can go see the VOD, I guess, on his Twitch channel if you're really wanting to see the rant. The thing though, because there's no big festival, right? The Guild Wars 1 used to do Christmas in July.
We should have had, I wish they do, I think they roll it into Queen's Jubilee now, but I wish we would have done Dragon Bash, because that was a June thing, wasn't it? Yeah, so. But I think they roll that in with Queen's Gauntlet and Zephyrite Sanctum and stuff in August, so.
The Queen's Gauntlet would be nice. I'm not sure when is that supposed to roll back? Is that August?
It's an anniversary celebration, yeah.
I was going to say, because the birthday's coming up. 7-year birthday presents coming up.
Yeah. I want my new armor set. Not new, but like, I want my second set of the birthday armor. Yeah. It's nice armor.
It is a nice armor set. I do like those. I've got my firebrand, one of my firebrands in part of that weapon armor set. Because it looks nice. And Festival of the Four Winds, when is that coming back? Yes. Has
that already been back this year?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I have no idea. Chat also mentioning that you need an additional gift, which is another 300 Elegy Mosaics for Coalescence. Awesome. So yeah, I guess you do need like over 1,000. That's crazy. That's insane. You can offset it with trade contracts though. So like if you have a bunch of trade contracts, you can get some of your funerary incenses with that and then supplement the rest with Elegy Mosaics. So you can cut into it if you have a lot of trade contracts. But yeah, it's going to be dirty, guys. It's going to be dirty getting Coalescence.
So Festival of Four Winds, it looks like it should be back in July if they follow last year's cadence.
Okay, I thought it was August, but July. Okay, that's the one. Gotcha.
And then Queen's Jubilee, is it called? Or Queen's Gauntlet?
Yeah.
That's just part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, they've rolled Queen's Jubilee into Festival of the Four Winds.
Yeah, so July. So I guess we've got that to look forward to before the birthday. Yep. So I guess it would be good not to get another of these bonus events for a bit. Let people go do things, get a break, get hyped.
They did hint that another World v World one is coming.
Another World v World event. No, that I could get behind.
Yeah, there was a hint dropped on the forums about it. I don't know if it's guaranteed though.
Would this go? Should we just jump ahead now here in our notes for a second? Because there were a couple of things that happened this week that hint to potential happiness of the dub community.
Oh yeah, yeah. You mentioned the squad changes.
So on Tuesday, for a couple of hours, you were able to make your squad invisible, hide your tag on any map, which is apparently something that they are going to be rolling out with alliances. So they hotfixed that and took it out because you're not able to do that now. And then just earlier today, they announced that they're going to be removing the language restrictions for EU world linking. With the ultimate end of, here it is. This will help us to create fairer links and gather data on the impact of grouping together players who speak different languages. Why would we need this?
Unless we're going to be bundled
closer.
Yeah, unless Alliance is coming into the fold soon.
I know that WVWers have been kind of caught in this. Yeah, you keep promising us stuff and then we never see it mode for several years now. So I hope that this is some happiness coming to the WW community.
And
it would be lovely.
Kat does make a good point. It says hiding tags is also good to keep the champions away. Which, no, okay, so if you play World v World,
yes,
you will know that commanders will straight up boot you out of their squad if you are not a profession that they want in their squad.
Depending on the squad and the server.
Yeah, if you're a Pew Pew Soul Beast, you're going to get booted out of a squad. If you're a core profession at all, you're going to get booted out of a squad. If you're a thief, you're going to get booted out of a squad.
I want to run a squad running all core classes now. Just because.
You could, but like they want, what do they want in WW squads? They want Scourges. They want Firebrands and Scrappers and Revenants, right? That's what they want. And if you're not one of those, you can take a walk. Like that's kind of
they're super OP right now. All of those classes are super OP, so it kind of makes sense that they want them.
And yeah, like squad only goes up to 50, right? So if you're there on your core ranger, you're taking up room. Get out, leave.
Sorry, you can trail behind. Follow the tag anyway.
Yeah, like you can still follow along, right? You just don't get boon priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but these changes hopefully coming in signaling that alliances are closer than we thought. I hope. Don't play with WW's hearts, ArenaNet, please. Because
they already have been.
I know, for far too long. For far too long. And I think that it's a community that needs it needs some positivity and some attention, other than the Warclaw, which, was fun, but it's, it's a mount, and there are other things that could make them a lot happier.
Yeah. I will admit, as much as I like the Warclaw, and I do like the Warclaw, it wasn't what WW needed. Like, I like it, but it wasn't what was needed.
No.
But I hope those squad changes mean that alliances are on the way, because we just need a shakeup, right? I might even join a World v World guild. Like, I might join one if the alliances become a thing.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Interesting changes.
Yes. All right. Should we get into this discussion of what we're actually supposed to be talking about?
Yeah, like we started on Wing 7, and then we're like, wait, let's cover the meta event rush. And then we were like, so how about these bonus weeks? And then we started talking about, and then I started talking about Elegy Mosaics. Yeah. And now we're back. Now we're back, guys. Wing 7. What's up?
So Key of Ahdashim, it came out this week. Happy fun times. We have to go to the hidden city of Ahdashim. Did you see the in-game mail that Zamros sent out?
I did. Yes.
He signed it with hugs and kisses.
Yeah. I like the little flavor stuff like that. Like, it's cool.
I do as well.
I like the flavor. It's nice.
I like that he said that his ban or his exile hasn't been lifted. Probably a technical oversight.
Well, I like that Zomaros is such an eccentric, weird guy. Because that's what you always see from like actual ludicrously wealthy people in the world, is they're eccentric and weird. Like, that's a trait of super rich people. So it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense that Zomaros is just this tacky, weird guy, right?
And he likes to gamble. He's a gambler.
Yeah. Which also makes sense.
So the wing opens up, and you have to go in. So Qadim, spoiler alert if you haven't finished Wing 6, Qadim escapes after you defeat him. And he kind of buggers off in like a shadow form.
Well, now I know what happens. I might as well not play the wing.
There you go.
Yeah.
You don't need the trinket anyway.
I do need it.
And he just runs off in a shadow form, and he shows up in the hidden city of Ahdashim, and we have to go and basically investigate. So here we are with Glenna yet again, investigating some weird ass shit happening in Tyria. And we start off, we go in, and you've got to reunite the Key of Ahdashim to its body, which is a repeat mechanic of having to reunite soulless horror to her body to make her Desmina. Except that you don't actually have to fight her. So capture some cap circles, defeat some champ gens, escort. You do a little defend event, get in, and then the doors open. You've got Qadim trolling us from sucking in some ley energy in this big fountain.
Yep.
And then you can go and choose which boss you want to face first, the air djinn or the earth djinn, the cardinals. Adina and Sabir. Adina is your earth djinn, and Sabir is the air djinn.
And you have fought both of these this week.
I saw more Sabir this week. So I know that fight now. The air djinn. It is a super fun, high mobility fight. The earth fight I've seen till about just below 75% after we triggered the dust wall. Rock wall, which is basically Sabbatha's flame wall going in both directions and rotating around. We've gotten to the hands. I don't know. We were just messing around last night, really, after we killed Sabir. So I don't know all that fight. I haven't actually done that fight very much.
But as you did mention just now, you have killed Sabir.
I have killed Sabir. The mechanics on the fights, I think, have been really interesting. The one thing that I like about the Adina fight is the idea of having to place pillars, having half of your squad be targeted so that you have to place pillars in a strategic location and that you have to hide behind them in certain phases so that the boss can blow them up and then take damage. It's got these earth elemental hands, which we've seen forever in this game.
Yeah.
In certain phases.
They like those. Yeah, they're like, we have this sick hand model.
Yeah, and we're gonna use it. And we're gonna use it, and you're gonna see it, and you're gonna love it.
Apparently, earth elementalists really like hands.
I guess they're grabby hands or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that fight looks super fun, and I'm looking forward to getting into it more. The air djinn is the one, Sabir, is the one that I've seen the most of this week, which has the fun jump into air updraft tornadoes and use your special action key to CC him, using it coordinated to CC him in certain phases on the third platform, not getting caught in those updraft tornadoes because otherwise you lose your key. Then having the big suck tornado that rotates around the platform.
Yep. And just intersects with the boss's hitbox just enough to where you might special action yourself into the tornado.
Yeah, so we found out that if you aim it in front of his feet, not actually in his hitbox, you're safe.
Yeah, because you just have to tag him with the AoE, right? You don't have to do it right on top.
Yeah, you can just get the tip of your ground targeted green thing to just touch his feet, and it's enough to trigger the CC.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, death through him and into the big suck tornado that just then sucks you in, launches you up into the air, and kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely happened to me.
Earth just wants a hug. I mean, why not? Hugs are good. But yeah.
That's why he has hands. He's like,
yeah. Grabby hands. Dirty old man, Jin. I don't know.
Dirty old man. Oh, no.
So yeah, and then all of that, once you defeat those two, you get in to go see Qadim 2.0. Qadim the Peerless, as he calls himself. And he's got, like, big, poofy shoulder things and like more horns on his like helm, and dude thinks he's like a super badass. He likes to.
He's hit the wardrobe. He hit the Ahdashim wardrobe.
He did. And that fight's got interesting mechanics. It brings in the whole the towers mechanics, which need to be parts of it need to be CC'd. It's got ads that are ley line anomalies. So these dudes are back. Poor guys. We don't get enough of having to kill their asses in like fractals and things and out in the open world. So let's just throw them in raid.
Yeah. Again, I think a model that they're very proud of. So they like.
It's a cool model.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got a. They did an interesting take on the shackles mechanic from the Doom fight, where you actually have to stay tethered together to get a damage bonus. So it's a wing that is going to be, in my opinion, a high communication, high coordination wing. And if you can jump on board with that, you're gonna have fun. What did you think of it?
So I only did. You dragged me in on Wednesday for the Cardinal Sabir fight, and it was pretty fun. You get to jump around a little bit. There's like, right, like it's a fun time. Yeah. I like my job in raids is to kind of just unload damage as much as humanly possible, right? But there's a little bit of responsibility for everybody in the Sabir fight because you need to coordinate special action. And I was having trouble because when you updraft, you lose your special action. But I'm like, the shockwave, right? So your reflex is to updraft, and it's. Yeah, it's going to take some theory crafting to find out the best in-slot way for your group to retain special action during that fight. So it's fun, though. It's a fun fight. I was hearing from our support that it's kind of a tough one for healers because there's a lot of damage going out across the whole party. So the healers are kind of having a party. But, yeah, it was a good time. It was a fun one.
Yeah, and all of the bosses are toughness priority, so you can tank them. Yes.
Well, because we were wondering about that in our run
as well. Yeah, I remember I was talking to one of the other tanks from our statics, and he was basically tanking him and having to heal himself, basically, so that the healers could go and take care of the rest of the static.
So in our run, is the reason why the boss wasn't on you, is that because someone in our party had higher toughness than you?
Yes. Yeah, we figured it out after we were done. That Arrow was running different toughness depending on her weapon swap. And then what did we have? We had someone in on Heal Scourge, and then she swapped over to Healy Boon Tempest to try that out, and she runs some toughness, so she was slightly above me. And I was like, I don't care. So we're all going to be in front anyway. So if we're just moving together, we should be okay. So it wasn't too much of a big deal on Sabir, but that's interesting in and of itself because you have to get the entire squad needs to get hit by his attacks in order to charge up the special action key. So you're not stacked behind him. You're stacking with the tank.
Okay. Special action relies on taking hits. I did not know that. Interesting.
I thought we'd pointed it out several times.
I missed it.
You may have missed it. Yeah.
I thought it was just random.
No, you gotta get hit by him 5 times. You'll get a debuff called Volteric Currents or something like that. And that charges up your special action key when you got a stack of 5.
Gotcha.
Get your special action key.
All right. Well, I've learned how to raid today, guys.
There you go.
Easy Sabir kill coming in on Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll take in another group. So yeah, it is super fun. I'm really excited about going into play around with the other bosses now, with the Earth Djinn and with Qadim himself. Yeah. Now, the controversy amongst some quarters of the raiding community has been that this wing is too easy. And I think for the faster progression groups, players who learn quickly, read mechanics quickly, that's probably the case. I've heard that the challenge modes feel more like what normal mode should be like to them. I think average raiders, which I pointed out on my stream on Tuesday, I think average raiders, slower progression groups are probably going to feel a little more challenged by this wing, especially because of the coordination needed. And if they're not used to seeing mechanics quickly or reading mechanics quickly, it can pose some issues. We had several players who were having trouble seeing the tell for the shockwave and not reacting quick enough, and so then getting taken out. So healing Scourge can be really helpful on this fight for the Master's potential.
I do have an opinion on this, yes. And it's not a super popular one.
What does that get good?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't think ArenaNet should make fights impossible, right? Just because 0.01% of the player base can do it. But I also think they're making a mistake in making a raid difficulty plateau and not crossing it. Yeah. I personally think each wing should be a little more difficult than the last one. I don't like that Wing 5 is kind of... I think Wing 5 and 6 are kind of the pinnacles for difficulty, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Depending on the bosses.
Yeah, and then everything else kind of is within that top range of that difficulty plateau. I think that gets boring for the people who are most into it. Yeah. And the people who are most into it, those are the people that stream it on Twitch. Those are the people that show this content off on YouTube. Those are the people that hype this content to the community and to potential new players that will be interested in raiding. Right? And if those people aren't excited and challenged by the new stuff that comes out, that seriously impacts the level of hype that this generates for the game in general. Bad long term.
Yeah. One of the comments that I saw, I believe it was Envy who tweeted it out, saying you already have the best in-slot gear. So this isn't like raids in this game, or it's not like raids in other MMOs. Because you don't have to grind new gear in order to be able to complete it effectively. It's usually just a mechanics skill check, which I would agree with.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole formula is different because we don't have to gear grind, right? You're always going to see faster progression through GW2 raids because we're not doing it in a previous gear tier, and we have to grind for new gear. That's fine. I don't ever want to see a gear treadmill in Guild Wars 2. I love not having one. Right. I just think that they ArenaNet's come out and said we don't want to make raids any harder than Doom. Right. Doom's kind of where we want to cut it. And with that clear intention stated, I don't agree with that. I think they should, because
and it's been a criticism of their raids for, I want to say, forever. Pretty much since Wing 2 came out. And it wasn't all that much terribly more difficult than Wing 1. So if you're new to raiding in this game, you can theoretically start anywhere. It does, I think, help if you've seen previous mechanics from other wings, because they do get reused in different ways.
Also, if you raid a lot, it just sharpens your reflexes and sharpens your DPS rotation, and things are just generally easier for you, right?
Yeah. And for people who've been raiding since raids hit the game 4 years ago, there's not much that they haven't already seen. So they can adapt quickly. I do think that if you are watching the top streamers who raid, and they are usually also the top tier players in raids, you could get lulled into a false sense of what the raid community as a player base.
Yeah, most people can't play like that, right? Obviously. Yeah. For sure. I think I'm not in the get good camp. I think you should keep get good for CMs. Which even people at the top tier, like at the teapot tier, right? They're even unhappy with CMs. Like they don't think CMs are hard enough.
Difficult, right?
But like that's such a minute section of the community, but it's also a section of the community hugely responsible for hype, right? Yeah. And hype is everything. So and Chad also mentions that they wouldn't mind minor difficulty in raids if they were released more often.
Sure.
Another can of worms entirely, right? I agree with you. But yeah, and I'm someone who doesn't even raid that much, right? I raid once a week with group 2, and that's it. That said, I'd like to see raids get a little more difficult, because the level that raids are at versus what players are capable of pulling off in this game is night and day. Like the players are up here and the raids are down here, right? As far as the ceiling. So do you have to make raids up here? No, but you could make raids a little bit. Yeah, you could bring them up a little bit. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I think raiders who've been raiding for a while now could stand for them to be brought up a bit. Yeah. And for raiders or players who are going to be just getting into raids, the older wings are there, the existing wings are there, and you've got a good proving ground.
And if you clear and if you want to get in and start on wing 8, I don't know, but like wing 8, right? If you want to get in and start there, you can. It's going to be hard, but you can, right? Yeah. So, yeah. I
don't want to say concern, but like one of the things that I tend to look at when we start comparing raids in this game to the raids in WoW or in XIV is the amount of development dollars that can be thrown at development time.
Yep.
And as we just saw in February, development dollars seem to be an issue. Now, that said, they did tweet out again this week, one of the devs did, that they are hiring, which we've talked about in the past. That feels a bit proud after they just went through layoffs. But if they're hiring, then that's great. If that means that they can put more bodies into developing content more quickly, because the release time between raids, it is a long time. Now, if they came faster, me as a full-time working player, if I have to class myself, I can class myself as a casual hardcore.
It's hard to classify because I play a lot, but I know people who play 12 hours a day, right? So I don't think of myself as hardcore because they're hardcore to me, right?
Yeah.
But to a casual player, I'm hardcore, so it's just this gradient.
Yeah. Would having more raids released faster make me feel like I have to chase or progress faster? I don't know. At this point in time, it probably feels like it might, but I don't know.
It's a fine line between feeling like you have something to strive for and feeling overwhelmed, right? If they released a new raid wing every month, then we'd feel overwhelmed, But like chat mentioned, every 4 months,
every 4 months, which is it's basically about half of what we're getting now, right? Because they're doing every 9 months now.
Yeah, I would say every 3 months, make it one a quarter, a raid a quarter. But it's like you said, they don't have the manpower, and I know they don't have the manpower, right? But it's kind of funny because I saw a dev, I won't say which dev, but I saw a dev tweet out, hey, we have open positions at ArenaNet.
Yeah.
And I was like, boy, is that a rich way to put it? We have open positions because we just liquidated half our workforce several months ago. Yeah. Positions are open. Okay. That feels bad. And I would feel wary of signing on with that company after what happened in February. Would you want to work there after that? I wouldn't.
I think it depends on the person that you're talking to, right? Like if you're a gaming industry professional, would you be wary? Maybe. If you're
You also probably
who's,
just want a job, though.
right. Well, there's that. And if you're someone who's looking to get into the industry, and ArenaNet, who's still a AAA company, is hiring, would you throw an application at them? Probably yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And chat saying that they feel like the layoffs were one of the best things for the game. I disagree. I just think, obviously, ArenaNet was working on a different project, right? Yeah. Like, it's normal for game studios to want to branch out into different projects. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wish instead of laying off half the workforce, I wish NCSoft had given them another chance and said, like, okay, reallocate these devs back to Guild Wars 2. But clearly, they didn't want to give them a chance.
And
so
I think when we say that NCSoft didn't give them a chance, we don't know what was actually happening. And NCSoft give them chances, and we just didn't hear about them? Possibly.
If they were working on, and I don't know, right? Because I'm not there, and I don't know anybody there. But theoretically, if they were working on a project for a while, they would have been dependent on Guild Wars 2 to bring in the money for that, right? So we saw those quarterly earnings reports that were kind of low. Mm-hmm. Every time one of those comes in and it's low, and they're like, well, just like wait for the next one. That's NCSoft being like, okay, like I'm trusting you to make that go up next mm-hmm. quarter.
Yeah.
And every time it doesn't, they get closer to this outcome that we finally saw in February.
Right.
I just wish they'd gotten one more chance. And NCSoft had said, okay, these devs that are on this project, shelve that and put them back on Guild Wars 2. And then you could have 400 employees working on Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
Which would be insane, right?
Chat brings up the point that a lot of the older art people, community people got laid off. And I think that's a good point, because what that does is it tells you that they were cutting salaries. So they were eliminating top tier salaries or higher salaries from people who'd had investment in the company for, over
a lot of them also volunteered, though.
Yes.
Because they got opportunities to volunteer, yes. And a lot of them sacrificed their jobs mm-hmm. so that less experienced people could keep it, which is actually a really nice move, because those people like Josh Foreman, right? He could walk onto any studio he wants, right? He's got 15 years at ArenaNet. He's fine. Whereas if you started a year ago and you get laid off from this, you're kind of screwed, So like those senior people who did that is kind of it was a really nice thing of them to do.
Yeah, and I haven't seen.
They'll probably be okay from it.
I haven't people like Josh Foreman and Matthew Medina, I believe, are still in the job hunt. I think they're still job searching.
Josh has a job.
Oh, did he get hired in something awesome?
Yeah.
I believe Matthew is still looking.
I think he is. Yeah.
So, I think yes, it's a good point that they did cut higher salaries and people did walk away to.
They did cut higher salaries, though. They cut Gail Gray.
Yeah.
And she's OG.
She single-handedly, I think, built the community.
Yeah.
So, and one of the points that I know we started talking about this earlier this week was, should ArenaNet move to a submodel?
You know what I think of that.
They are pushing the gem store basically to get revenue.
Boy, do I wish they would move to a submodel.
Is it time to put it? Should this be on the table?
You can't.
Guild Wars as a franchise has always been buy to play.
You can't move. You can't go. You can go from sub to free to play. You can't go from free to play to sub. You can't. You can go ESO style sub. You can give people a VIP badge, right? A little marker over their head. Mm-hmm. You can do that. And that would honestly make me seriously consider not playing the game very much anymore. I would prefer, my perfect world scenario is sub fee, no cash shop, right? It doesn't make enough money. It'll never happen. Even World of Warcraft double dips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warcraft and XIV both double dip with their sub and cash shop. So
Yeah.
even if they did go sub, you wouldn't see the end of the gem store. You wouldn't see the end of the
No.
whale toxicity in this game, right? So I don't know. Like, I don't know what they can do, honestly.
Yeah.
Besides the VIP badge system, which just makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. If they did that, but you know, it is something that I think should probably be in discussion. If players are wanting, especially their veteran players, are wanting more content faster, if they want to keep the game going for more than just another couple of years or however long they intend the game to be alive, are they going to expand the franchise into a Guild Wars 3? How many players are you going to retain over? Because you've got players who played the game played the franchise since Guild Wars 1, and they tie back a decade ago. Are you going to hold on to them to travel forth with you to a new game?
Here's the thing. It's weird because what you see, to me, you see a need for a new MMO when the industry sees a massive jump forward in quality.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, we have not seen that yet, this generation of MMOs. Guild Wars 1 was antiquated when Guild Wars 2 came out, right? We needed Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 came out in 2012. It is still, in my opinion, ahead of all the other popular MMOs in terms of gameplay quality.
I agree with that. I mean,
the only MMO that's come out this generation that could touch Guild Wars 2 in terms of gameplay quality was WildStar, and that died.
WildStar had an interesting combat system. I hated its art style, which is why I didn't stay.
It had a very Guild Wars 2 style combat system, except
did.
almost more action oriented, though.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried XIV, I've tried Black Desert, and I just always come back to this game because I like the combat system.
Mm-hmm.
And the build system.
It's not the most action combat in the industry, but I think it is the best hybrid of targeted mechanical combat and action combat, which makes for the best formula because you need that structure of a tab targeted combat system. That's very important to be able to control encounters, and then you need the action feeling for the player to be having fun, right?
Yeah.
And I think Guild Wars 2 has struck one of the best balances we have in that.
Chat brings up the point that right now we're seeing a lot of remastered older MMOs.
Classic WoW, old school RuneScape. Yeah.
Could that be
I don't think Guild Wars
for them?
I don't think Guild Wars 2 needs that. And here's why. I've talked about this on my stream before. There is nothing that has come into Guild Wars 2 since its launch that we want gone. Like, all the content has been good for the game, for the most part. You can think of some stupid things like Stronghold is stupid, right? And adventures are hit and miss, but I think people like them for the most part. But other than that, it's like updates to Guild Wars 2 have been for the better, you know?
Sure.
Who have you met that's like, man, I wish we could play vanilla Guild Wars 2, except for PvPers, because apparently PvP was the best in vanilla. But apart from PvPers, nobody wants vanilla Guild Wars 2, right?
No, I mean, the elite system, the elite specs system has just enhanced the classes. So.
And again, a big problem that, like, PvPers don't like the POF elite specs. They like core and hot. And POF has kind of made PvP into just a burst DPS mess.
Yeah.
Right? So from the PvP standpoint, I can understand wanting a classic game, right? But I just don't think it'll be something we need with Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. Skill books.
Yeah, I think we got on this.
Your skills?
I think we got on this tangent talking about like raid release cadence
cadence and content, and should the idea of a sub fee be on the table in order to increase the raid release or the content release cadence, not even just raid release cadence, but content release cadence.
Okay, let's pretend for a second that introducing a sub fee into your free-to-play game is a viable business strategy. If they were to do so, they would have to massively scale back the gem store. If they put a sub fee in and they kept the gem store as toxic as it is, right?
Yeah, they would have to find a balance for sure.
Yeah, you can't be releasing overpowered gathering tools on the gem store if you have a sub fee. You're gonna have to put some mount skins in the game if you're gonna have a sub fee.
Well, and people would, and those are things that people want and have been asking for. Mount skins in the game, acquirable.
You're gonna have to take I would say you should take the like waypoint unlock and level boost out of the gem store, but they won't do that, right? No. Even World of Warcraft has a max level boost in their store. But yeah, you got to scale it back. You got to take all those outfits you come out with. You're gonna have to put some of those in game as armor sets. They'd have to massively scale it back, but I don't know. I think the most likely thing that we would get would be a VIP system like ESO has.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. What I don't like about that system is it just does. There's no reason for me as a person who plays a lot to pay that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no reason for me to. I have a good account. I have everything I need. I can get everything I need in game playing, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to give you $15 a month for a measly amount of gems and a little badge over my head that says I'm a whale, right?
No, I think that would just breed toxicity, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. If I see someone with a little "I'm a whale" badge over their head, I'm going to snicker at him. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like that, all that badge tells me is, "Hey, look at me. I'm a dipshit." That's all that.
Or I throw money at the game. But people throw money at this game already through the gem store. There are things that are skins, whatever, the 2K gem mount skins, for example. That I own one only because I got it as a drop out of a Black Lion chest.
I've seen so many of that Skyscale skin since logging in.
They didn't put it in Black Lion chest this time.
They did. You know what's funny? One of my chatters in my stream came to my stream and she said, "Oh, my friend got the new skin out of a Black Lion chest," and I was like, "No, he didn't." And she was like, "Yeah, he said he did." And I was like, "He literally lied to you because he didn't want to admit that he's a whale." People are such big whales for this game that they don't want to admit it anymore.
Yeah. The thing, I think if we're going to continue to compare this game to other games and the content release schedules, things are going to have to change, or either they hire more people.
Here's the thing,
or I don't know, but the other point is who's the target demographic for this game or target audience for this game.
The 99% casual player base is the target audience for this game.
Yeah.
So I understand. Yeah. Like from a numbers standpoint, you see like, oh well, we should please the majority of players with the gem store and with content, right? That's a fair assessment to make. But this is a point they made on Tea Time last episode that I 100% agree with. Is that you cannot underestimate the hype that niche games bring. What do people watch on Twitch the most? They watch raids and SPVP and World versus World. Those are the three highest Twitch viewed things.
The last, if you want to look at another game, WoW's last raid that came out a couple months ago.
Like 50,000 viewers for the World.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I had friends who were watching it, and they would link me to the top team's stream, and I mean, I watched it, and I understand nothing of the combat really in WoW. And I'm
but the community hype around it is an experience.
The community hype was it, yeah. And the production value, which was, it reminded me of when the PvP scene was really hype in this game, and we had, like people like Jebro who were shoutcasting all the time because they had tournaments going.
Yeah, the World Tournament Series in Boston, 2015.
Yeah.
Like 10,000 people watching that or something like that.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I think ArenaNet seriously underestimates the value that their highest viewed game modes have. And sure, is the Twitch community tiny for Guild Wars 2? Yes, it is. But I think it's because those game modes don't get a lot of support. Imagine if you had a lot of raid releases, a lot of fractal releases, and a lot of balance patches for WW and PvP. So you'd see Twitch numbers go up.
So Tuesday, the raid dropped, and Teapot's viewership was about 1,800. Wooden Potatoes was sitting under 1,000 or so.
Which is...
They were both... Go ahead.
Which is massive for Guild Wars 2. Nobody sees that kind of viewership.
Teapot's stream was sitting at about half of the viewership that he'd gotten for the Wing 6 release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was still a lot of people watching
but it's because there's people that fall off of raids because they just don't.
So ArenaNet streamed also that day. Because they didn't hype the raid at all.
At all, no.
They dropped it in game. It happened. Their streamers went out. Were playing it. ArenaNet streamed. And they streamed the open world events for the shiny weapons. And I saw that and I went, you guys missed a really perfect opportunity to jump on your own bandwagon here.
Yikes. Yeah. Because, you make a good point. Like, average, I think Teapot sees 300 to 400 viewers in his stream. Wooden Potatoes sees 500 to 600, something like that. Mm-hmm. When Teapot did his raid tournament that he made, 5,000 viewers. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, when Jebro sees in Guild Wars 2, he sees average of 100 to 200, right? When he did his raid or his PvP tournament, 400 to 500 viewers.
Yeah.
Like, it speaks for itself. Those are the hype game modes. Mm-hmm. And if you put time into bettering those game modes, you see hype for the game, you'd see the community grow.
Yeah. So, more of Qadim's top tier supplies, please.
Yeah, more raid releases, more fractal releases. I actually, lately, I'm really into fractals, right? And I'm already getting bored of the fractals we have.
Now, and we should be getting a new fractal.
Should be. Yeah, should be. With no CM. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I'm like, I don't understand why they stopped doing the fractal CMs.
They said no, but not enough people do them. And it's like, I don't think that's a good excuse. I think if you want them to be more accessible, make them more accessible.
Sure.
Because have you tried 99 or 100 CM?
Yes.
I've not tried 100 CM.
I don't remember. I may have done with Erlin at one point. Months ago.
I did have a pub group pop 99 CM on me, non-consensually, one time. And that stuff is nuts, right? Yes. People can do it, but to someone like me who's a pleb, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But you don't have to make... That's 99 and 100. Those are the two top fractals. You don't have to have every CM be 99 and 100 CM.
Sure.
Retune it. Just make it a little more accessible. Still hard, but a little more accessible. Mm-hmm. And this is a point that MMO Inc.'s made on Tea Time, full disclosure, that I agree with.
Yeah.
Just retune things. Don't just drop them. Just retune them, right? And they don't. But yeah, I'd love more fractals, more raids, more PvP balance.
And the whole, the fractal instability system is an interesting mechanic that a lot of people hate. And, do those need to be retuned or...
They were a lot better after the recent retune.
Yeah.
Now that they have pluses as well as minuses to them.
Yeah.
They're more interesting now.
Yeah.
Like when you get stick together, you want to stack, right? Because you get bonuses. Like that's cool. But then you also get social awkwardness, which is like, what are we doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're kind of fun now. They're not really that bad now. They were really bad when we had like birds and stuff, right?
Yeah, but birds that everyone.
I haven't found The only one I really hate is Toxic Trail, because if you stack and kill mobs, you get insta down because you're standing in Toxic Trail, right?
Yeah.
But apart from that one, I kind of don't mind the instabilities.
Yeah. The Slippery Slope one.
Yeah, they took that out. Yeah,
and they just left it in raids.
Yeah.
You see it in Wing 5, and you see it in 7 again.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it in the raid, the Winter's Day raid.
Yeah, I never played that. I don't play holiday. I don't play holiday releases.
It was the Lair of the Snowman from Guild Wars 1.
Yes. The dungeon from Eye of the North?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
I used to farm that dungeon.
Yeah. It was a lot shorter than I remembered the dungeon being.
Mm-hmm.
And, we went in with raid squads. So everyone was like, oh, mechanics, avoid this, do that, blah, blah. So we didn't have any problems with it at all. And then I saw people in map chat and on Reddit and Twitter like, this is too hard. And I was like, but no. So, yeah.
And chat does make another point, and this is another point that I've heard Teapot make on his show many times, actually, is that, and I also happen to agree with, Living World is great for both casual and avid players, honestly. I play it, right?
Yeah.
But the story in this game is not what this game does best, right?
Okay.
I think, but it's their flagship game mode, right? Sure. It's their flagship release. I think raids should take the front seat as the flagship releases, and Living World should take the B tier seat, and they should hype raids like they hype Living World releases.
I think that they should hype the content that gets them the most views on Twitch.
Exactly.
And that would put bodies in their game, people who want to come in and play.
And I can speak from experience. I'm the guy who streams weird stuff like, oh, let's run around in Dragonfall. Oh, let's do Silver Waste for 5 hours. Like, I don't get a lot of viewers. When I get the most viewers guaranteed? World versus World. Mm-hmm. Every time. World versus World gets more viewers than anything else I do. Mm-hmm. And if I did stream raids, I guarantee you I'd get more viewers than when I screw around in Silver Waste.
You know what I was going to ask you on Wednesday was if you wanted to stream, and then I saw...
I will never stream raids.
Well, hang on a second before you hold that thought. One of the things that I saw on Tuesday was that Plenix and Teapot were doing a squad stream, and I've been out of the whole streaming on Twitch thing, so I didn't know that was a thing, because I know you could do multi-Twitch, but squad streaming was like, oh, what's that? So I kind of wanted to look into that to see if you wanted to squad stream sometime.
I mean, I'm not interested in the backseaters.
Oh, the backseat raiders and backseat commanders.
I'm very easy to
build.
Bait is the word I would use.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I can't handle the raid backseating. Yeah. Deo in chat saying, so Guild Wars becomes WildStar. The difference is, WildStar 2. That's actually funny. Yeah, because the difference, right, is that we have a successful game and they didn't. I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm just that's the reality, right? Guild Wars 2 is successful to the point where we could start to explore the idea of hyping hardcore content. Whereas WildStar started off that way, and it didn't go so well. Yeah. But we have the base there to do that, I think.
Yeah, I like the story in the Guild Wars franchise. I think I paid attention to the lore less in Guild Wars 1 than I do in Guild Wars 2. And it could probably... not even could probably. It is because of the Living World format and the way that the game, especially at launch, kicked you into the personal story to help you level if you wanted to. So, and because I'm, ultimately I'm a story person. I mean, I'm an English major. I say this all the time. Story just gets me. Good story, good music, and I'm there.
Guild Wars 2 has great music.
Yeah.
The story in Guild Wars 2 and in Guild Wars 1 either, honestly. Like I'm a huge fan of this franchise, but I've always kind of just played it because I like the world and the art and the gameplay.
Sure. Yeah.
The story's never really grabbed me in the franchise. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it.
But it's never really grabbed. Like, a good example is I'll watch Jebro play Elder Scrolls Online sometimes, right? I don't play Elder Scrolls Online, but just watching his live stream, I'm like, wow, this story content is way better than Guild Wars 2. Yeah, like their gameplay isn't better than Guild Wars 2, but the story is way better.
See, Elder Scrolls is in Skyrim, right? That's the same franchise?
Yes, yeah, that's Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, so I played Skyrim because it was recommended to me as being like this really cool story, and
Skyrim story sucks. No,
it's not good.
in Elder Scrolls single player games, the main story is never the good story. It's always in the side quests and the books you pick up.
The game that has a really interesting story is Dragon Age.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Actually, I've played a good chunk of Dragon Age. I've never finished a Dragon Age game.
Me neither. I've never finished it either, but I got into the story.
So BioWare is the best studio at making a video game into a movie, right? They shoot professionally shot, like multi-angle dialogue cutscenes.
Yeah.
And they have fully voiced dialogue for every single shred of dialogue in the entire game. And their lore writing is really good, right? Yeah, I agree with you. And when you've played all these games, MMO or otherwise, that are fantastic story games, you just you get into Guild Wars 2 and they're like, Commander, and you're just like, oh god.
The game that I was playing for a while was XIV, and when they didn't have fully voiced even like cinematics, I was like checking my audio settings, and then like my friends were like, no, they just don't voice act them, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. And that's just what I'm saying is like the story content's great and it's fine. And you can obviously always hype. I think they should hype all their releases, right?
Yes, I agree.
I just wish that Rating and Fractal's usually released as a sidecar to something, right? You never get just a Fractal release. It's a sidecar. I just wish everything got the same amount of hype that Living World does. And Deo in chat makes a good point that viewership on Twitch doesn't necessarily mean sales. That's true, but it does mean eyes on the game. And games that are high viewership on Twitch are all successful games. You don't have dying games in top viewership on Twitch. And you makes the point that WoW doesn't release their sub numbers anymore. But I guarantee you right now, WoW is on the uptick because Classic is coming out. That's why their Twitch viewership's on the uptick because Classic is coming out and they're hyping it.
Yeah.
Via streamers. Like, holy shit. So if you hype the content that people are watching, it feeds upon itself. It's a snowball. Right. And I just don't think ArenaNet recognizes that well enough.
I think the interesting as in an observation point of view is what the point I'm making here is if you look at what ArenaNet hypes from their partner program, they hype the creative partners, the artists. They don't really hype their streamers.
And here's the thing. Finish.
I don't really get that.
So they also do their art.
Yeah, I get the art. It brings in people like fan art and but when you have they didn't get behind Teapot's raid tournament, for example, until the second one.
Because Teapot says naughty words. They can't have that on their Twitch channel. They're a wholesome, politically correct.
They didn't have him stream to their channel. They hosted his channel.
Did they?
Yeah. Yes, because we were streaming at the same time for the annual.
Gotcha. Because I remember I was watching Teapot's show a couple weeks ago and he had Jodges on. And Jodges was talking about how he got an ArenaNet host one time on the Guild Wars 2 channel. And so immediately in his head, he's like, all right, stop saying the F word, stop being toxic, stop cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Just PG wholesomeness from here on out,
And I think you can give your streamers the benefit of the doubt that they can self-police themselves if that's what you want from them. But
I don't think a streamer should have to feel like they have to change their...
No, I agree that, but I think you at the same time give them a chance.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And like you were talking about the fan art, and I think it's good to hype your artists in your art community, right? I
Sure,
think the art show thing they do is fine.
Yeah.
But like you said, they don't hype their mid-tier like content partners enough. Yesterday, for example, Wooden Potatoes was streaming. Yesterday, the day before, Wooden Potatoes was streaming, and
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2 tweeted out that Wooden Potatoes is streaming.
And he replied and saying, "Yeah, guys, kind of at the end of my stream. Thanks." So
Also, who's the one streamer in their community that does not need a tweet from them? Wooden Potatoes. That doesn't help him at all. Like zero. He doesn't need you. He's Wooden Potatoes, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got partnered WW and PvP streamers that never see a retweet from you. It's like that have significantly lower viewership than he does. It's like, wow, they could actually benefit from this.
Sure.
And you never tweet these people out. And it's just like, that feels bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I have all these like opinions on
the partner program,
what they're doing and how I think they could change it, but I would have to make a fully fledged Netflix documentary to cover it all.
Well, luckily, we know someone who works at Netflix now.
We do, yeah. Which is why I no longer know anybody at ArenaNet, because the one dev that I knew there now works for Netflix.
All right. We kind of went off a tangent. This was not in our show notes, guys. But,
it was good. It was a good discussion.
It was a good discussion.
Yeah.
All right. So raid wing is out. Go have fun in it if you like to raid. If you've never set foot in a raid, find yourself a good guild that likes to raid and will train you up. It's a fun time. Okay, legendary trinkets. We've got some PSAs out for things that people are hyped or annoyed by. Coalescence hunters are a little ticked off. Did you know about this?
Yeah, I heard about the conversion from LDs to LIs.
Yeah, so about 8 months ago, we were told we could convert our legendary insights into legendary divinations. That would always be available, and that you could trade or convert up to 168 at any time.
It's a weird number, but okay.
It is. That probably should have given us a tip off that there was 168 that we would need for the ring at least. But people were saving up their divinations until the recipe was out so that we could convert them all at once. So what did ArenaNet do? They stealth removed that from the game.
Wait, are you telling me you need legendary insights, not divinations, to make coalescence?
No, you need divinations, sorry. You could convert insights into divinations prior to Tuesday.
Oh, insights to divinations. I thought it was a backward. You could convert Heart of Thorns into L.
And it was because the excuse was, or the reasoning, was that when they launched the Path of Fire raids, which began with Wing 5, they didn't have a mechanism or rewards that was equivalent, because the cap for divinations was lower than the cap for insights or some bullshit.
Oh, yeah, and there's not as many wings, so you can't.
There's not as many wings, so yada yada yada.
Right.
And so they said you can convert up to 168 insights into divinations. This will always be here for you. Go have fun. And people were like, okay, great. And we know that this ring is coming out, but we don't know what the full recipe is yet because you haven't finished your Path of Fire raids. And on Tuesday, that was removed. But they put in that you could change divinations into insights. And the reasoning that they give is that people can now go after legendary armor.
With Path of Fire raids. Mm-hmm. So now you can earn your 150 LI much more quickly. But you're stuck in Path of Fire for Coalescence if you're trying to get it after release.
So you have to play 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 7.
So they're like, okay, I can see their reasoning, because now they're like, okay, we have 3 wings out for Path of Fire now. It's roughly equivalent, 4 to 3, right?
Right.
They think it's fair enough that you should have to play Path of Fire to get your LDs. It's kind of a dick move to stealth do it, though. Yeah, if they just
which is the critical piece of feedback that they're getting now from everyone who's posting in the thread. Is everyone, you told us that this was going to be a thing forever, and you went and removed it. Why did you tell us that it was going to be a thing forever, and then at least not give us a heads up that you were going to be changing it?
Yeah, they probably shouldn't have stealthed it. I think chat is saying they'll change it back for a week.
I know that people have been requesting that. I don't know that they've said that it will. Now, if they've announced it on the forums that they are going to bring it back, then I think that's great. And people who were sitting on their LI to convert all at once will be happy. But it was still kind of shitty to sneak it and not say anything.
And I can feel that because I do that too. If I have something that can convert to something else, I never do it as I get the thing. I save them both up, and then I'll do it when I need to, because I want to have the other currency on hand just in case anything comes up that I need that for, right? So I totally get why people do that.
Yeah, if you've got that link,
kind of feel it.
Yeah, if you've got that link, Mr. Ed, I would appreciate throwing it into chat if you can. Oh, many thanks to you.
Yeah, if they're giving it back to people for a limited time to give them a chance, then that would be nice.
After talking to the team, we want to make clear that we intended to communicate this change before the update so the community is aware. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. You think? And we apologize for the miscommunication. Thank you.
We intended to, we didn't. Sorry.
Someone forgot. The team is now looking into temporarily bringing back the conversion. The functionality will be brought back in a future planned build, and we will tell you ahead of time when it will be removed. Thank you. That's helpful.
Do they mean in 9 months when the next wing comes out?
I hope not.
By then, everyone's going to be like, I got the ring. I don't care.
Yeah.
Fun.
So, good that they reversed it, even if it's going to be temporary. You're going to make a lot of people who've been saving up happy with that one. But yeah, they've been making strides in communicating the right way. So for this kind of return to silence, it was a bit what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat also makes a good zinger that it's easy to forget when they don't put out that much raid content. It's like, yeah, kind of. Yeah, that feels bad, but yeah.
Other PSAs. The Mystic Forge event. So this Mystic Forge event was the one that came out several weeks ago with the Sky Scale. Was it with the Sky Scale?
Yeah, it was with...
and it bugged out?
Yeah.
And stalled.
Yeah, Sky Scale. Yeah, the Mythral donation. Yeah.
Yes, the Mythral donation.
It wasn't with the Sky Scale, it was with the Vision update. So a week after Vision update. Yeah.
So they've sorted out the bug that caused the event to stall last time. Progress. This is good. In addition to make the event less confusing, Wild Eye Miller will be more clear that this is a donation as part of a global community effort and will announce when the new recipe is unlocked. The new Mystic Forge recipe will be available for all players once it's unlocked, and players can progress the related achievements during all of the events in the series, regardless of whether or not they participated in the first event. We know some of you are disappointed that you didn't get to participate in the first round, and we expect future events will last longer to give more people a chance to contribute. With all that said, we really hope you're ready for the next event in the series, because Wild Eye Miller is waiting for you in Lion's Arch right now.
Imagine being disappointed that you didn't get to flush your resources down the toilet as a part of a community event.
I mean, and if he was collecting Mythral, I wouldn't have donated it anyway, because I'm like, I need to throw a crap ton of that into the next legendary that I make.
Exactly. Yeah, dude, that's Mythral. I need, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I need it.
Yeah.
Can't have my Mythral. Get out of here.
So that's coming. We're not sure when, but they've fixed it, so yeehaw.
I haven't checked. I haven't checked for Wild Eye Miller. I don't know.
I haven't either. And we talked about the alliances thing already. So the last PSA is about ground targeted skills, which are apparently not functioning correctly. They're not casting at the proper location currently. They are aware of it, and I love when they're saying casting their effects in the wrong location. Yeah, this is not a good thing. We have a fix ready, but it is too risky for us to push it in a hot fix today. This was yesterday. So they're going to be releasing it on Monday. So if you've been playing and your ground targeting skills are acting a little janky, they know, and please wait till Monday.
I actually like what chat is saying. Let us donate Dragonite, right, dude? Imagine if you could donate Dragonite, Imperial Fragments, and Bloodstone dust. Everybody would be coming in droves.
Oh my gosh, no! I have so much of it that is just sitting in my bank, and I'm trying to get rid of it.
Oh, I delete it.
I can't. I mean, I've got the converters because I went through the trouble of getting the converters. So I will convert it for at least something that I can get some loot out of.
I have the Star of Gratitude for Imperial Fragments, and then I have the Aurora one that lets you convert everything. I should probably use them more.
The Aurora one that lets you convert everything.
Yeah, so the one of the item you get to unlock the Aurora collections.
Oh, okay. Is an eater?
Yeah, it's a converter that will convert all the different types of ones, so Bloodstone, Imperial, and Dragonite.
Are you telling me that this is a reason for me to at least do the first collection?
You do the precursor collection to the first collection. So to unlock the Aurora collections at all, you have to do this thing and get this item, and this item unlocks the collections. Aurora's fun. Aurora's a good time.
My migraine is coming back. Hang on. You just said Aurora is fun.
Yeah.
I have the Dragon Ore one, the princess one. I went around Lion's Arch shooting Karkas for that.
I could not be asked.
I could not be asked. I followed Delphi.
Guides. I'm sure it's really fast to get now that there's a guide.
Oh yeah, right? There's a guide. Yeah, I've got the one from Auric Basin that you go around finding the masks for the Exalted, and you get the guy who eats 250 and basically a stack of Bloodstone dust in one go. I've got the Maudry one from when I made Maudry.
I didn't make Maudry.
I did, yeah. So I've got like 4 or 5 of those eater things. And I've been trying to use them because I've got a lot of Bloodstone dust in my bank.
I get doing Silverways, so I do 5-hour runs of Silverways. And in that time, you get 6,000 Dragonite ore and like 4,000 Imperial Fragments. Oh, God. So yeah, I delete it because that's going to fill up fast.
Yeah, I know. And your bank is very small. And you've got all those tunes that you've got as mules.
I did get to liquidate my... So you know that character I was keeping just for fractaling? The Elementalist.
Okay.
The one that I rated on before.
Made to raid, yeah.
I finally got to strip that character because I'm fractaling on my Guardian now. So I have a free storage alt, so that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Fun little anecdote about my account management, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
fun stuff.
It's fun stuff. All right, so Gemstore news. We've got the Shimmerwing Skyscale skin came in for 2,000 gems. It's very shimmer skinny, or shimmer skinny, shimmer. I don't know. It looks insectoid. I was gonna show you the VOD on this, but obviously my thing's not working, guys. So I apologize in advance, or not in advance, but again. I am not sure about this skin. Aaron?
I mean, I don't buy 2K mount skins just because I'm fundamentally opposed to their very existence. It's $25 is just too much money for a skin.
The animations, it changes the animations. Like it's idle animation. It shoots up blue kind of icy looking flame. It changes the dismount skill color.
It's also just not my style as a skin. I'll wait for some mount pack to come out that has a Skyscale skin in it. That's fine. Yeah. I don't buy the 2K skins. This one isn't my jam. I don't like the insectoid wings. It's weird. Yeah, I'm not going for it. Yeah. Not going for it.
The other thing was the Skyscale hatchling mining tool. This is the second of these Sky Skull hatchling tools, I believe. 1,000 gems, and it's got the Glyph of Alchemy, which upgrades materials harvested from nodes.
I love this glyph because it's a double-edged sword.
No, I've seen you tweet about it that you're not all that.
This isn't the one I tweeted about. So the one I tweeted about was the one on the gathering tool, which AoE gathers, which I'm not actually as annoyed about because it's actually not that good. Okay. Like in theory, it was that good, but then it's like, what foraging nodes are people farming? None except
you could go do your potato farm if you wanted to, or your strawberry patch ones. And get them all in one go.
Like champion farm, like it's good for the flax farm, and that's about it. But this will so you gather an iron node, right? And this will give you gold, which is a terrible deal because iron is worth way more than gold, right? Or if you harvest a platinum node, this will give you mithril. That's a terrible deal, right? I would not use this glyph in a million years.
So there you go. And I believe that the glyph itself is available. Can you just buy it with like the rest of the glyphs?
So when these glyphs come out, I don't know if they're added to Black Lion chest right away. So I don't know if it's on the TP. Yeah.
I have never invested in any of these glyphs. The only one that I have is the free one that they gave us when the glyphs first came out. I'm just kind of like, I don't see the point.
Well, I mean, the point is to get a bit extra when you get, right? But it's for the money it costs on the TP to get all your characters set up with glyphs on every tool. It's a ludicrous amount of money. No. Like when you're talking one glyph per tool, it's a ludicrous amount of money to set everyone up with glyphs. So yeah, I don't bother with them. But yeah, the Glyph of Alchemy is just funny because it's almost bad.
The another thing that I don't use is the transmutation on the harvesting skins. Because those are things like you can reskin them.
Yeah. That's for people who bought like every harvesting tool. You know, I buy the generic ones because they're cheaper and I just want them for the infinite quality.
I mean, if I want the Unbound Magic one, I want it to be the Unbound Magic one. I'm not going to turn it into something generic.
Yeah. And chat does ask, they wonder how many people actually make their money back and how many people actually hard farm mats. There are people who make money doing gathering routes. That's the thing.
Sure. Yeah, that is the thing.
That's the thing, for sure. It's not like the best farm in the game, but you can make gold doing gathering routes. You could gathering route your way to a legendary, right? But yeah, also, fun fact, Elder Wood is actually worth more than Ancient Wood right now. It has been for a while.
Yeah, for a while. So even you need it. Mithril and Elder Wood are the things that you need for the Gen 2 legendaries, like in droves.
Yeah, you actually wouldn't use this Glyph of Alchemy hardly anywhere, which is kind of funny. But
now, the Glyph of Reaping, which one is that one? Because I don't remember. Is that the AoE one?
Yeah, Reaping is the AoE one, and it's on the foraging tool. You can put the glyph on anything, right? So you can get the glyph and slap it on an axe or whatever, right? Yeah. So you can use this for whatever, but the one straight out the gem store is going to be this is the mining tool, right? So you'd be looking at mining nodes, or with the Reaping, you'd be looking at harvest or foraging nodes. So
yeah, see, so if you were like investing in legendary weapons and needing to harvest those little Elderwood farms or whatever on all of your accounts, and you had a shared inventory slot, I could see how the Glyph of Reaping would make your life easier.
Yeah, if you wanted to do the Elderwood farm, you could slap your axe with a Reaping glyph in your shared inventory and just cycle your account super fast on it, right? And then you could get it done on like double the amount of characters or whatever. That's cool, but that's like such a niche use that I was really annoyed about that glyph at first because I was like, well, that's overpowered, which technically it is because it's technically objectively better, right?
Sure.
But it's so niche that it's just like, who cares?
I like how Aaron walks back on his prior rants.
I do. Yeah. No, because I was really... I tweeted about it. I was like,
I know you did.
This is unacceptable, right? And then I was like actually analyzing the practical uses of it, and I'm like, all right, who cares?
I just find your rants, and then you walk back on them.
Well, because we mathed it out on my stream. If you took, like, you can get through like 20 or 25 characters an hour on the Elderwood farm with that Reaping glyph. if you did that, you would be making gold profit like 12 gold an hour. So like just doing silver waste laps on one character, you're still outpacing this tool. So it's like, who cares, honestly?
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all of the gem store stuff. There wasn't that much gem store stuff.
Yeah, not much gem store stuff. I mean, a lot of returning items, but it's like, go check out the returning items, right?
Yeah.
Black Lion keys are on sale if you're a whale.
Black Lion keys are on sale. Yep. One thing that we don't have in our notes, but we have been really super curious about, and this is a community thing, guys. Do we know what has happened to Dolphy?
I'm worried. Like, I'm actually genuinely concerned.
I haven't seen an update from her. Her Twitter account has gone silent. I saw on Reddit that someone posted that she's busy with real life, which, fair. She got a job offer.
I guess chat saying she got a job offer. Okay. Like, I was genuinely worried. I was like, did something like serious happen?
I know. Because we've heard nothing. Like, not even a, hey guys, got a job later.
Yeah. I was kind of worried.
Oof. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sad. Like, good for her, but I'm sad because she makes show notes a breeze.
That's good to know. Thank you, Kit, for that information. Because, yeah, one of the things I will say is that putting together show notes without Dolphy updating her site, it takes a little longer now.
I got to go on the wiki and, like, hope that they have good
hope that they've got pictures or...
I got to go in-game and look at the gem store.
Yeah. Previews of skins, not a thing now because Delphi got a job.
Yeah.
Oh, well, congrats on you, Delphi. I'm glad that you got your job. That's awesome.
Yep. For sure.
Which is sad that your content is now missing, but it's okay. We'll make do. And now maybe someone else can step up to the plate and take over.
Right. Yeah, chat's mentioning Ian. Ian does video guides, right? But
I love Ian's guides.
I imagine if she launched a website and became the new Dolphy.
She has a website.
Yeah. Does she? Does she have written guides on stuff?
She has video guides.
See, the written guides are like what I'm all about.
Yeah.
I like Ian's video guides. They help me a lot with doing Aurora stuff. But I'm a written guide guy for sure because I like to peruse it at my own pace and like go back and forth and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I find the written format is much more conducive to that.
Well, there you go. Hot take: guides shouldn't exist. What? Arctic, stop.
Guides shouldn't exist. Hot take. I did. It was funny. I was listening to a really old Tea Time, I think, like 4 weeks ago, and Wooden Potatoes was talking about how like you can use a guide for like stuff that comes out, but like that's kind of defeats the whole point. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, Guild Wars 2 isn't about like it's an MMO, right? It's going to be figured out. It's not about figuring out things for myself. It's about doing it as a community and like having fun with your friends, right? Like that's the whole thing. So I don't look down on people who use guides in MMOs at all.
Like
I just think they don't get past busy work.
Yeah. Like one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this week with the raid wing is even though people had beaten the wing on day one, the top tier dudes had beaten the wing on day one, we were still crowdsourcing information across all of our guilds to like just sharing knowledge. Like here's the mechanic, this is working over here, this is what's working here, this mechanic starts at X% or at X time, be on the lookout for this, what comp is working well, what's not working well. Just that crowdsourcing, it just makes it fun. And that's one of the things about this community that I really enjoy.
Yeah. And that's I use guides for all the sky scale stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, it's not about finding it for yourself to me. Someone's going to have to do that, sure, to make the guide and all that stuff. And that's great. But to me, in an MMO, I don't think using guides like invalidates your work or whatever, right?
No.
Because for me, I want the sky scale because it is a thing that I must have to not be a pleb, right? And once I have it, I can go back to doing the things I actually like doing in the game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like, if what you care about doing is doing achievements without guides, knock yourself out.
Yeah. That's
not what I care about doing in the game. So it's not where I hold my validation at.
Yeah, Kit brings up a good point. You needed a guide because I suck at hints or guessing their hints. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I remember I remember I was streaming once and we were in Draconis Mons, God Almighty. And Kit came along. She's like, hey, there's a thing for some collection or other over there. And I was like, I don't even know how to figure this out. How do you figure it out? She's like, I know where it is. And so she just jumped on and led me to it. And I was like, yay.
Yeah, I had a couple
people.
Because I was streaming the Skyscale stuff with a Reddit guide. And because that was just after Dolphy went out. So Reddit was like, oh my God, we got to put guides together.
Yeah.
And I had a couple people from my chat tagging along. We were all doing the Skyscale stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's fun. I would know.
And then we hit the time. And then we hit the time gate, and we were like, "Well, guess we can just log off now."
I think I'm still at just before the time gate. Right now, I'm in the scavenger hunt for the egg stuff, and I was doing the derelict delve ones, and following the instructions on the wiki. And that's where I am. I'm
derelict
delve, desert highlands, the dwarvy area.
Yeah, derelict 12 triggered me.
Did it really?
It did. It was bad.
I'm in the process of getting the rune stones for the 4th room. No. I think I'm in the 3rd room. The one with the spiders. So I need to get out of that room fast because I don't like spiders. I have to go and do the swim thing in the water. I need to get into the 4th room.
I was on stream and I was just like going through the collections like, oh, dude, bing, bang, boom. This is all pretty easy. And then I'm like, okay, derelict delve, what do we got to go do here? And then my chat's just like, yeah, you're going to love this one. And I was like, oh, no. And so I start looking it up on the wiki and I'm like, oh, fuck. It's this giant fucking puzzle. It turned out not being too bad, but just seeing it all laid out in the wiki guide, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, I know. The wiki makes it feel really defeating before you even start, but once you get into it, it's not that bad.
Once you understand how to do it, you can kind of just do it.
The what was I gonna say? And I meant to do that collection like a long time ago anyway, so I've been, as I jump into the rooms, I've been grabbing the weapon pieces as I see them, and then if I miss one, I'm like, well, at least the room will be open for me next time I come in.
Apparently that's something people do. Like everyone in my chat was like, oh, I did this when POF came out. And I was like, people do that? People like find achievements in the world and they just do it? I don't.
I found it, and what actually, I wanted the shield skin to look like the runestone, because the runestone is really cool. And the shield skin looks nothing like the runestones, which kind of makes me sad.
Feels bad.
Yeah. But I would love that skin in game. ArenaNet. Please don't throw it into the gem store. Let me earn it.
To all the ArenaNet devs who definitely watch this show because it's incredibly insightful.
Yeah, not really.
Miko wants the runestone shield skin.
I do. I've been wanting it for a while, but anyways. So yeah, I think we've exhausted our conversation points.
I think so. Yeah.
We've solved the mystery of Delphi getting a job.
We did.
And we encourage all content creators out there to please go make guides.
Yes. Yeah. Someone become the new Dolphin.
Some written and some videos. Or both. Both and.
Yeah, or both.
Yeah. There you go.
It's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna make the guides.
You need to update your Silver Waste guide.
Oh my god. Back when bandit crests were inventory items.
Oh god, yeah. Dude, the one thing that I learned about from that guide was that mystic salvage kits were a thing. Do you remember how excited I was about that? I was like, what is this? And Aaron's like, how did you not know about this? I'm like, I may not know.
Here's the thing. Now that achievement points have slowed to a trickle, I'm running out of mystic forge stones to make mystic kits with.
Don't you get them from login?
You only get them from AP.
You sure about this?
I am relatively sure, yes.
Okay. Guides instantly invalidate your account. Arctic is just giving you all the hot takes right now.
He's quite the memester. Yeah, he's one of my resident memers.
You've got
quality.
several of them.
Quality hot takes.
Quality hot takes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sad that I wasn't able to show off stuff on stream today.
We'll try to get that fixed.
That's the sadness of my life, and we'll get that fixed. I have a feeling it was because I had too many tabs open on Firefox and computer went, I don't know what to do here. For some reason, XSplit and Firefox just have sad times together sometimes. I was going to look this up, but was it Mystic Forge Stones?
Yeah, Mystic Forge Stones are. You need 3 to.
You can
to
buy
do
them.
the thing.
You can buy them. You get them from achievement chests.
Yeah,
apparently.
AP is the only way, but you can buy them on the gem store. But like, I would never do. I would just buy the. Basically, when I run out,
Yeah, I've never bought them on the gem store because I always have a crap ton.
Yeah, when I run out, because I do a lot of farming, right? So I salvage rares like crazy. So I run out of Mystic Forge Stones. When I run out, I'm just gonna buy the silver fed salvage kit on the gem store.
You sound really sad about that.
I am, because I've been very proud of the fact that I don't need the silver fed.
How many achievement points have you got now?
I hit my 25k chest the other day.
Was it in the middle of your sky scale stuff?
Yeah, and it gave me 25 Mystic Forge Stones, so I'm back in the black with those.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have 100 and something, I'm sorry.
I mean, I still have like 200 Mystic Forge Stones, but I can see that
they will end.
I'm losing them faster than I'm gaining them, basically. There's a deficit here.
Yeah, the deficit is growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. Sitting at just over 500. I approve of that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's mostly people who don't make Mystic kits, probably just have hundreds and hundreds. But since I use mine fairly frequently, like I make a Mystic salvage kit like every week. Yeah, so I'm slowly losing them.
We're waffling now.
We are.
So we're going to bring the show to a close. That's episode 11 of TyriaNow in the can. The VOD will be up on the channel, highlighted in a little while. It'll go up on our YouTube channel, which is now linked below, because I realized this week that wasn't done. So I did that while I was at work one day. Nice.
All the links now.
Yes.
Fully linked.
Fully linked. The next thing to be worked on is a website so that we can get our RSS feed so that we can get linked up to iTunes and Google Play podcasts. So you can.
There's a lot of podcast apps.
Yeah. There are, but I think those are still the most popular places where people get podcasts. So I figure the Play Store, the App Store,
SoundCloud as well. That's what I use for podcasts.
Yeah. SoundCloud requires paid accounts in order to have unlimited file storage space. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. There's another one called Mixcloud, which is we could do. But yeah, there are options. So we're hoping to get just audio version only for people who prefer to listen rather than watch. I mean, why would you not want to watch? We're kind of funny people.
Right, yeah. Show up live, guys. It's a fun
time. So give us a follow if you like the show. You can hit the follow button up there. You can follow us on Twitter at TyriaNow. If you ever want to reach us, send us viewer mail. You can disagree with us. If you want to leave us comments on our YouTube channel, you please do. We do respond to those. Or you can email us at TyriaNow@gmail.com. If you want to follow us individually, Aaron is Guild Wars Monk everywhere, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Do you have
Yep.
All right.
Everywhere. Yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Guild Wars Monk.
You need a Tumblr now.
No.
Nope. You can follow me at InkySticks, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube as well. My YouTube channel is really sparse. It's got some playlists for raid stuff that's mostly used internally on my raid groups. But yeah. So there you go. And that's us. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for everyone who's been in chatting along with us during the past 2 hours. We appreciate you guys. Our next show will be in 2 weeks, June 29th. Good,
June 29th, guys.
June 29th. All right.
Let's do it.
Okay. We'll see you next time, guys. Good night.
Bye, guys.